Hello, everybody. Dave Neal here, stand-up comic, host of Bachelor Nation News. We have a Bachelor recap for you, a guy's review. Women Tell All was last night, along with the final 3 rose ceremony. So I'll take notes, read them back to you. No edits or jump cuts. We'll dive right into it. Some are saying this might have been the best Women Tell All in years. I mean, it really depends on what your level of chaos threshold is. Some people really want it to be insane. Some people don't. Either way, I thought it was fine, and we're going to take notes and read them back to you. So we start last night with Jesse and Joey going to, I guess, a couple sorority houses. Listen, I got nothing against sorority houses, but I got something against Gen Z sorority houses. Oh, my gosh. To grow up in the digital age of social media right now, I mean, can you imagine every hallway is probably littered with people learning new TikTok dances, screaming at the top of their lungs. Oh, but I don't know. I don't envy it, put it that way. But either way, they were the belles of the balls, and no thanks for me. Fans cheered for the ladies once they introduced the ladies. Maria and Sydney feud, we'll get into it in a second, but obviously it was wild, the response that Maria got. I mean, it was bigger than any of the other women there. She's got a cultural movement happening. If the Bachelor producers weren't aware of it before, hello, check out the decibel readers, and I think the fan response will be a reason alone. I mean, she got the last, you know what I mean? She got the last announcement, the key billing, all that jazz. Well, we have the Maria and Sydney feud. Clearly are going to be giving Maria the golden edit, which is because she wasn't in the wrong, as we saw that all play out. The women call Leia out for saying she was a girl's girl since she was also tearing down Maria. Yeah, that's the problem you have, right? You can't be a girl's girl while also tearing down Maria, and you can't have Leia's issues without Sydney's and Sydney's issues without Medina's. It really just goes to show, when you look into it, this whole fight and fabrication was built off nothing. Give the producer who caused this all ruckus a raise. So Medina calls out Leia for instigating, and Jesse has to tell everyone, ladies, please calm down. We got a long show. I mean, they really get right off to the races. In between the commercial breaks, Maria ends up consoling Leia, who's clearly bummed out that her actions had consequences. Maybe also another problem Gen Z doesn't realize. No, I don't mean to sound like an old millennial. Gen Z doesn't realize consequences. No. But clearly, you know, she was made in one way or another to dog on Maria and thought that was the right move. And then Maria just wasn't having it. Maria was not having it, which I think is great. The ladies weren't having it. The audience wasn't having it. Maria said, I speak the truth and you make up lies, right? That being her fight with Sydney. Maria is vindicated when someone else admits that she told Sydney to shut the hell up or whatever. You know, you just can't follow it. The show has all the evidence of who said what, and yet we're still left to piece it all together. But Maria was adamant. I never said those things to you. I never told you to shut up. She goes, I told you to zip it. But that's not the same as zippity is not the same as shut up. It's different. I didn't give you the fighting words. So anyway, Maria shows her true colors, I believe, in this moment where she hugs Leia. It was supposed to be between the commercial breaks. They ended up sharing it, probably because they're continuing to give Maria the edit I believe she rightfully deserves, which is someone who doesn't claim to be a saint, but someone who's not going to sit by and have other people say she said and did certain things that she just never did. Sydney says they communicate differently, and Maria slams back, I speak the truth and you speak lies. And of course, that gets a big pop from the audience. Maria very quickly became the star of the show. And some people said, oh, she was sort of overdoing it. This isn't the way a future bachelorette handles herself. Well, look, this is how somebody who's, been pushed into the corner handles himself. She had to quietly wait for her chance on Women Tell All to share her side of the story. What she might not have realized is that audiences already were on her side. But, she would make a good lawyer because she wasn't willing to let anything slide that was anything short of the truth. Anyway, so we go into Lexi Pro right here, they call her. Lexi sticks up for Maria when people say they don't like Maria's delivery. Lexi just basically says, so you don't like her opinion, so that triggers you or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, you cannot like Maria's opinion on things and not say and make up all these things. Of course, Medina said earlier she admits that saying she felt bullied was the wrong term. We saw that play out we saw it play out with Maria, where she goes, you felt bullied. Bullied by who? By me? You think I'm a bully? And Medina goes, no, I don't think you're a bully. And she goes, but you said you felt bullied, and I was the person who bullied you. So ipso de facto, you're saying I'm the bully. Like, Maria was very clear to be like, you're not going to label me as a bully because I'd done nothing wrong here. I mean, it was literally, there was nothing that could have happened that would have mended that situation in the moment. It was a whole bunch of feelings, and people attributed those feelings of anxiety and being on a reality show to being Maria's problem. And it's like, sorry, you're all in the same boat here. Your all limbic systems are flared, but it wasn't Maria's fault. So we move on. Lexi gets her hot seat moment, dazzles in a red dress. She gets a standing ovation after sharing her story. She has nothing but great things to say for Joey as she exits the show and says, I just want a different guy. He wasn't the one. People wonder, could Lexi be the Bachelorette? Well, in the sense of her having a timeline that wants to get married soon and have babies soon, sure. But how far did the audience get invested in her story? That's a different conversation. I actually have this chat with Reality Steve on an upcoming episode of his podcast. I think it airs today or tomorrow, where we'll discuss who we think could be potential, folks in the running for Bachelorette, which Jen is one of them. Jen gets the hot seat, very emotional. Nothing much to say other than just hearing back from her journey, what she felt, she got a good edit because she seems like a good person. No real drama there, which is all good. Would she make a great Bachelorette? I'm sure. I mean, most of these contestants would. They've already been pre-screened. They've got great stories. And we move on from her to Maria. Let's see if there's anything. There's Maria. She joins the hot seat. Jesse calls her a lightning rod. Sydney admits to Maria that she was annoying and cringy. She doesn't blame Maria, and moving forward, she should have been more resolution-oriented. Maria says she gets heated when she feels like her character is attacked. Maria says the hate Sydney received on social media has crossed the line and she doesn't want to get hate. Then Maria gets up and hugs Sydney and Leia. Big move. So there they are. She makes a point to hug her and just to show audiences we're moving on from this. Very interesting thing going on here. We've got Maria setting boundaries, standing up for herself, and also being kind. And you don't always get the two. With audiences, there's always this duality. I'm either pro this person or anti that person. And when Rachel got a lot of hate, everyone attributed it to Maria's fans, as if Maria had anything to do with it. It'd almost be like if someone treated me poorly and then my audience was attacked that person. It's like, well, that's not me doing that. That's just people who are rooting for me and not rooting for you. And there's some people that were rooting for Maria, of course, because so many people are rooting for her. Take it like this. It's like Taylor Swift, right? She's got fantastic fans. She's got the best fans in the world. She's also got a portion of our fans that clearly could use mental health treatment and a therapist and all of that jazz. I mean, because she's got such a large following, that 0.01% of audience is going to do reckless things to anyone they perceive as a hater to Taylor Swift. And Justin Bieber had the same thing, and it goes on and on when you have a fan base. It's almost like anyone who watches my content and has enjoyed my channel, if anyone in my channel did something atrocious, it wouldn't be because of the pursuit by me. It wouldn't be because I'm wanting them to do that. Everyone has their own free will and can accept their own consequences. So they go back to the rose ceremony. So that all happens. Very good. Now we have this moment here, and I didn't really write too much down, but we knew from a country mile what this whole thing was. I can't wait to see you. Or no. She said she left a note with Joey saying, we need to talk, right? She left the we need to talk note. At this point, it is 100% production's decision to do this. Oh, it'll be good. We'll get a conversation with you. You'll get to see him. And of course, what it did was it triggered the hell out of Joey. And you can understand he was having a hard time even talking to her. Like, I don't know what she expected. I guess she probably expected the second she told him, being on the show is hard and I'm happy to see you, that he would be like, oh, boy, I thought you were dumping me. Oh, and then they just make out and go to second base. And maybe that did happen, but what they showed us was Joey being highly triggered by all of those worries and making it seem as though he doesn't know who he's going to pick, when in fact we know he's going to pick Kelsey, and he picks Kelsey first. They show it as though he picks Daisy first, but we know that the editing was manipulated. He picked Kelsey first, then Daisy, and then he didn't pick Rachel. Rachel did then get the hot seat. Clearly still very emotional. I'm sure, watching it back for the first time, mentions all the hateful and racist comments toward her. I am not downplaying that whatsoever. I'm just explaining how atrocious the internet and audiences are when you get to that bottom of the low lifers that exist out there. They will use anything they can to hurt somebody, including the racist comments I'm sure she received, about her family, about their culture. I can't imagine. I truly can't imagine how bad that is. And no amount of me saying that it exists out there is me trying to justify it whatsoever. I just wish these trolls didn't have a chance to contact these contestants. Her story would be so much better if all of those hateful comments were just caught in a trap somewhere and never made its way up. They are rodents. They are things that should not exist in her little world here. So it's sad that part of her story was stained in that way. And I don't think she's trying to play the victim or anything like that. I think she's truly hurt that she had this wonderful experience, talked about it with her parents. They really enjoyed it. And then afterwards, wakes up to hundreds of comments from people. She said, "We are not just faces on the screen, just be kind." And also, Joey came out on the hot seat, and we got a chance to hear from them talking, and nothing but good things. Very graceful was Rachel as she explained herself. Here's all the women raising their hands, saying all the hateful messages they got. Even the Golden Bachelors got hateful messages. They all talked about it. And Sydney mentioned, which was very nice of her to mention, that when she was getting all of that hate, that Joey actually privately reached out to her to make sure she was okay. So very good to see. And of course, we had very fun bloopers, not worth recapping over here. Everybody poops. We know that, folks. And has the season been great? Yes. Has it been the best season of all time? No, but there's a lot left to be seen. We saw the preview for next week's episode. Joey's clearly heartbroken. Does he leave a rose at the rose ceremony? Does he get stood up? What the hell goes down? We will be here to cover all of that. Next week, we'll have a before and after show live stream, of course, as we always do at the culmination of the end of the season. Once we have all the information of who's, with who and all of the speeches and statements and all that jazz. So we'll have all of that. We are anxiously awaiting the announcement for who the next Bachelorette is, and we have so much more to get into. I'll be live today at noon Central Standard Time if you want to join me on the Patreon for private membership-only content. We'll see you then. Bye, everybody.